The distress call. Captain Maya Chen gripped the control stick as her rescue ship, Phoenix Rising, cut through the asteroid belt surrounding Titan's third moon. The emergency beacon had been broadcasting for 72 hours now, and every minute counted in the frozen wasteland ahead. Her fingers danced across the navigation console, adjusting course for the last known position of the research vessel Aurora Dawn. "Arya, run another scan for life signs," Maya commanded, her voice steady, despite the knot of worry in her stomach. The AI's holographic form materialized beside her, a shimmering blue figure that had been her companion on countless rescue missions. "Scanning now," Captain Arya replied, her synthetic voice carrying a warmth that Maya had programmed herself. "Multiple life signs detected, but they single quotes, re ... Unusual, the readings are inconsistent with normal human vital signs." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Unusual how?" "Heart rates are significantly slower than normal, almost hibernation-like. Brain activity shows patterns I've never seen before. It's as if they're in some kind of altered state." The comm system crackled to life with an incoming transmission from corporate command. Director Harrison's face appeared on screen, his expression cold and calculating as always. "Captain Chen, what's your ETA to the Aurora Dawn?" "Approximately 4 hours, sir. The crew appears to be alive, but their condition is concerning." Harrison's eyes gleamed with interest. "Concerning how they injured?" "Unknown at this time. Arya is detecting unusual vital signs that suggest an altered state of consciousness." "Understood. Remember, Captain, the Aurora Dawn was carrying a cargo of quantum crystals worth 8 billion credits. Those crystals are critical to our expansion into the Outer Rim. The crew's safety is important, but securing that cargo is your primary objective." Maya's jaw tightened. "With respect, sir, the crew's safety is always my primary objective. The cargo is secondary." Harrison's smile was razor-thin. "Of course, Captain. But do keep in mind that those crystals could power entire colonies for decades. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few." The transmission ended, leaving Maya staring at the blank screen. She had served the Terran Mining Consortium for 15 years, and every mission seemed to care less about human lives and more about profit margins. But she had joined the rescue service to save people, not to serve corporate interests. "Arya, remind me why I keep taking their assignments," Maya muttered. "Because you've saved over 300 lives in the past 5 years, and someone needs to stand between corporate greed and innocent people," Arya replied without hesitation. Maya smiled grimly. She had programmed Arya well. The AI had developed an almost human sense of justice over the years, something that corporate techs always found disturbing during routine maintenance checks. The Phoenix Rising swept around a massive ice asteroid, and Maya's breath caught in her throat. Ahead of them lay a field of ice formations unlike anything she had ever seen. Towering spires of crystal-clear ice stretched into space, connected by delicate bridges and arches that looked almost architectural in their precision. "Arya, are you seeing this?" "Yes, Captain. The formations are clearly artificial, but they're composed entirely of water ice. The geometric patterns are mathematically perfect. This level of precision is impossible with natural ice formation." Maya maneuvered the Phoenix Rising carefully through the ice field. The formations seemed to pulse with a faint inner light, and she noticed that her ship's instruments were picking up energy readings from the ice itself. "Captain, I'm detecting the Aurora Dawn," Arya announced, bearing Tusivon Mark IV. "She's embedded in the ice. Maya's pilot training kicked in as she navigated toward the coordinates. What she saw made her question everything she thought she knew about physics. The Aurora Dawn wasn't crashed into the ice. It was perfectly integrated into one of the massive ice formations. The ship's hull had been encased in a crystalline shell that seemed to grow from the ice itself. "That's impossible," Maya whispered. "Ice doesn't behave that way." "Captain, I'm detecting massive energy signatures from the ice formations. They're not just frozen water. There's some kind of advanced technology integrated into the crystal matrix." Maya brought the Phoenix Rising alongside the Aurora Dawn's docking port. The ice had grown round the ship, but left the airlock clear, as if it had been deliberately preserved for rescue purposes. "Prepare for docking, Arya, and run a full atmospheric scan of the Aurora Dawn. I want to know what we're walking into." The docking procedure went smoothly, despite the unusual circumstances. Maya suited up in her environmental gear and made her way to the airlock. The Aurora Dawn's atmosphere was stable, but something felt different the moment she stepped aboard. The ship was silent, except for the hum of life support systems. Emergency lighting cast eerie shadows down the corridors, and Maya noticed that frost had formed on every surface, creating intricate patterns that seemed almost like writing. "Hello," Maya called out. "This is Captain Chen from Terran Rescue. Service, is anyone aboard?" A voice answered from deeper in the ship, barely above a whisper. "Captain, ... We're here. We're in the common area." Maya followed the voice through the ship's corridors. The frost patterns on the walls seemed to grow more complex as she moved deeper into the vessel. By the time she reached the common area, the patterns had become elaborate, geometric designs that covered every surface. She found the crew of the Aurora Dawn sitting in a circle in the center of the room. All 5 of them were alive, but their appearance was shocking. Their skin had a pale, almost translucent quality, and their eyes reflected light like mirrors. They sat perfectly still, their breathing so slow it was barely perceptible. "Captain Rodriguez," Maya approached the ship's commander carefully. "Are you all right?" Captain Rodriguez turned his head slowly, his mirror-like eyes focusing on Maya with obvious effort. "Captain Chen, we've been ... waiting for you. They told us you would come." Who told you I would come?" "The Guardians. They've been speaking to us through the ice. They've been trapped here for so long, waiting for someone who could help them." Maya felt a chill that had nothing to do with the temperature. "Captain, I need to get you and your crew to medical facilities. You're clearly suffering from some form of exposure or contamination." "No," Rodriguez said with surprising firmness. "We're not contaminated. We enhanced. The Guardians have shared their knowledge with us. We can see things now, understand things that were hidden before." Dr. Sarah Kim, the Aurora Dawn's chief scientist, stood up slowly. Her movements were fluid and graceful, almost like she was floating. "Captain Chen, you need to understand, we came here to mine quantum crystals, but we found something far more valuable. We found a civilization that has been waiting for us. A civilization where I don't see any alien structures." "You're standing in one," Kim said, gesturing to the walls around them. "The ice formations aren't natural. They're a vast network of living structures, homes and libraries and communication centers built by beings of incredible intelligence." Maya's comm system crackled to life. Arya's voice came through with unusual urgency. "Captain, you need to see this. I've been analyzing the ice formations, and they're not just technological. They're alive. Alive. How? They're growing, Captain. Expanding. And they're generating massive amounts of energy. But more importantly, they're trying to communicate. I'm detecting patterns in the energy fluctuations that resemble language. Maya looked at the crew of the Aurora Dawn. They were all watching her with those strange, mirror-like eyes. How long have you been in contact with these ... guardians? Since we arrived, Rodriguez replied. They reached out to us through the ice, through the very water in our bodies. They've been imprisoned here for millennia, waiting for someone with the technology to help them escape. Maya's comm system crackled to life. Director Harrison's face appeared on screen, his expression furious. Captain Chen, you are in direct violation of your orders. You were instructed to secure the cargo and evacuate the crew, not to engage in unauthorized first contact protocols. Director, the situation has changed. We're dealing with an alien intelligence that has critical information about a threat to all human colonies. Alien intelligence. Harrison's laugh was cold and dismissive. Captain, you've been exposed to some form of psychotropic gas or alien pathogen. The crew of the Aurora Dawn has clearly been compromised, and now you're showing signs of contamination. As well, I'm not contaminated. I'm trying to save our species. You're interfering with a military operation. Stand down immediately and prepare for extraction. That's an order. Maya looked at the crew of the Aurora Dawn, saw the desperate hope in their transformed faces. She thought about the vision of the Devourer, about the countless civilizations that had fallen because they couldn't unite in time. Arya, cut the transmission. Captain, are you sure? This is direct insubordination, I'm sure. And Arya, I want you to transmit our recording to every human colony, every independent settlement, every ship in the Outer Rim. Use the Aurora Dawn's communication array to boost the signal. That will take approximately 1 hour to complete the transmission to all known human settlements, Arya replied. But Captain, once you do this, there's no going back. Corporate Command will brand you as a traitor. Maya smiled grimly. Then we'd better make sure we're right about this. She turned to the crew. What do you need from me? Dr. Kim was already working at the engineering console. We need to synchronize the ship's quantum core with the ice matrix. It's dangerous. The energy feedback could destroy the Aurora Dawn and everyone on it. But if it works, we free an ancient race that has the knowledge to help humanity survive the coming storm. Maya took a deep breath and moved to the engineering station. Her fingers flew over the controls, making modifications to the quantum core's output frequency. The ship's power systems hummed with increasing intensity as she worked. Arya, monitor the energy levels. I don't want us to blow up before we complete the transmission. Captain, the military vessels are attempting to jam our communications. They're trying to stop the transmission. Can you compensate? I'm rerouting through the ship's secondary arrays. The transmission will continue, but at a reduced rate. The ship shuddered as Maya brought the quantum core online. The frost patterns on the walls began to glow more brightly, and she could hear a sound like singing coming from the ice formations outside. They're responding, Rodriguez said, his voice filled with awe. The Guardians are preparing to break free. Maya's hands moved across the controls, fine-tuning the resonance. Frequency. The energy readings were climbing dangerously high, but the synchronization was working. The ship's power was flowing into the ice matrix, and the ancient prism was beginning to crack. Captain, Arya announced, 50% of the transmission is complete, but the military vessels are now 2 hours out, and they're charging weapons. They're going to try to stop us, Maya said grimly. Arya, can you activate the ship's defensive systems? The Aurora Dawn is a research vessel, Captain. She has minimal defensive capabilities. Then we'll have to hope the Guardians can protect us. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. Through the viewports, Maya could see the ice formations beginning to crack and shift. Massive crystalline structures were breaking free from their frozen bonds, revealing the true scope of the Guardian civilization. It's beautiful, Dr. Kim whispered. Look at them. Maya looked out at the ice field and gasped. The Guardians were not the crystalline structures themselves, but beings of pure energy that had been trapped within the ice matrix. As their prison shattered, they emerged as beings of light and consciousness, their forms shifting and flowing like aurora. Borealis, given sentience. We are free, the Guardian voice filled Maya's mind. After 30,000 years, we are free. And we owe our freedom to the courage of humanity. The ship's communication system suddenly came alive with incoming messages from across human space. The transmission had reached its targets, and the response was immediate and overwhelming. This is Admiral Sarah Torres of the Independent Colonies Fleet, came one voice. Captain Chen, we've received your transmission and are analyzing the data. If this is real, if this threat is coming, then we need to start preparing immediately. This is Director Kim of the New Geneva Research Station, came another. We're detecting massive energy signatures from your location. Whatever you've done, you've awakened something incredible. Message after message poured in from across human space. Some were supportive, others skeptical, but all were engaged. The truth was out, and humanity was beginning to respond. Captain, Arya said urgently, the military vessels are entering the ice field. They're preparing to fire on the Guardian structures. Maya felt the Guardian presence in her mind intensify. Do not fear for us, Captain Chen. We are no longer prisoners. We are Guardians once more. The ice formations around the Aurora Dawn began to move, not destructively, but with purpose. Massive crystalline structures positioned themselves between the ship and the approaching military vessels. The Guardians had become protectors, shielding the humans who had freed them. Corporate command vessels, Maya broadcast on all frequencies. You are threatening a first contact situation with an alien intelligence. Stand down immediately. Director Harrison's voice crackled back, filled with rage. Captain Chen, you are under arrest for treason, insubordination, and theft of corporate property. Surrender immediately or face the consequences. The only theft here is your attempt to steal alien technology, Maya replied. These beings are not corporate property. They are sentient individuals with the right to determine their own fate. The lead military vessel fired a warning shot, the energy beam striking one of the Guardian structures. The crystalline formation absorbed the blast harmlessly, then responded with a pulse of energy that disabled the ship's weapons systems. We do not wish to harm you, the Guardian voice spoke through the ship's communication system, addressing the military vessels directly, but we will not allow you to threaten those who have freed us. Return to your homes, share what you have learned here, help your species prepare for the trials ahead. The military vessels held their position, but did not fire again. Maya could hear heated arguments over the comm channels as the commanders tried to decide their next course of action. Captain, Arya announced, transmission complete. The message has been received by every human colony and settlement in known space. Maya smiled, feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. Then we've done it. The truth is out there. Humanity knows what's coming, and they know that the Guardians are willing to help us prepare. The Guardian presence in her mind was warm and grateful. Captain Chen, you have given us a gift beyond measure. Freedom, yes, but more than that, you have given us hope. Your species may be the ones who finally break the cycle, who stand against the devourer and win. What happens now? Maya asked. Now we begin the work of preparation. We will share our knowledge with your people, help them build the technologies they will need. And in return, we ask only that humanity remember the lesson of unity. The devourer feeds on division and conflict. Only by standing together can your species hope to survive. Maya looked around at the crew of the Aurora Dawn, saw the hope and determination in their transformed faces. They had been changed by their contact with the Guardians, but they were still human, still capable of choice, still capable of growth. Arya, prepare a message for transmission to all human colonies. Tell them that the Guardians are offering an alliance, a partnership to help us prepare for the coming threat. Tell them that the age of isolation is over. Humanity is no longer alone in the universe. As the Phoenix Rising and the Aurora Dawn prepared to depart the ice field, Maya looked back at the Guardian structures one last time. They were beautiful beyond description, crystalline cities that sparkled with inner light, home to beings who had waited 30,000 years for the chance to save another species from the fate that had befallen so many others. The military vessels were withdrawing, their commanders finally understanding that this was bigger than corporate interests or military protocols. This was about the survival of humanity itself, and that was a responsibility that transcended any single organization or government. Maya's comm system chimed with an incoming message from Admiral Torres. Captain Chen, the Independent Colonies Council has voted to accept the Guardian Alliance. We're organizing a joint task force to coordinate the preparation efforts. We'd like you to serve as our liaison to the Guardians. Maya smiled, feeling a sense of purpose that she had never experienced before. I'd be honored, Admiral, but I think we're going to need all the help we can get. As the two ships departed the ice field, escorted by Guardian vessels that seemed to be made of living light, Maya knew that this was just the beginning. The real work lay ahead, uniting humanity, sharing the Guardian knowledge, and preparing for a threat that had destroyed countless civilizations before them.